Hello, hello. My name is John. I am the photographer and the owner of Real Model Mockups. And chances are you're here because you found the link to the listing that I posted, or you actually even purchased the mug mockups. And by the way, thank you very much if that's you. I do appreciate that very much so, because I am bound and determined to be one of the best mock-up photographers here on Etsy. That being said, let's get to the good stuff here, because chances are you want to know exactly on how you're going to take those photos that I've taken with your designs on them, flatten them, put them up on Etsy or wherever you're going to sell them, and you need to go make money. So I've tried to make this very easy for you folks, and the greatest thing about this is that you can use a program or a website on the internet right now. You don't necessarily need Photoshop, but you can use this as well. Either way, it works just as well as Photoshop, and it's very, very easy. I've tried to make it very easy for you. That being said, if you're following along, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called Photopea or Photopea, the name's right here. So you're going to start there, and look folks, let's just jump right into it. Okay, now that you are at Photopea or Photopea, I don't know how they say it, what you're going to do is you're going to open up the file or the PSD file that you desire with the mug in there. So open from computer is what you're going to click on here. And you're going to find one of the shots. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this one right here. It's a red mug. Yeah, this is a fun one. Let's do this. All right, here we are. Now, it's loaded up, and you're probably wondering, oh, what is that gray box right there? Well, that is your smart object, and that is where you're going to put your design right there. And it's very, very easy, trust me with this. Now, you may be asking me, well, why don't they put, or why didn't I put the gray right to the edge here, the top and bottom and even the side here? Well, you may or may not know, when you do your print on demand with a lot of these manufacturers like Printify and Printful, the dye sublimation, they do not go all the way up to the top or bottom. This is roughly the bounding box for this. And of course, that would have been something that you've already set up with them. That being said, let's talk about how this works here. The only thing you're really going to touch on here is going to be the smart object as a layer. So if you go on the right-hand side right here, you can see where it says place design here. And of course, here is your background. By the way, this is the underlying picture right here in the background. But what you're going to click on is double click on this little box area that's within that layer. So let's double click on that. So here we are, and we've got this square box with a teal blue line right in the middle. Well, I've tried to make this very easy for everyone here. While that teal blue line is not necessarily in the middle of this particular box, when you actually put your design in the middle of that teal blue line right there, it actually ends up in the middle of the mug. So that is just a guide for you to go by. That being said, what is next here? Well, we need your designs. So at this stage, what we're going to do is go up to File. We're going to Open, and you're going to go find your design. I found one right here in, well, I found it off the internet. Don't steal. Hopefully these are all your original designs. I trust you. That being said, we're going to open this up, and here is the design. Now, once we have this, we've got this as a layer right here. We are going to take this layer and we are going to drag and drop it into the shape one layer right here. And here we go. Oh, I don't want to do that. But at this point, you can turn that off. So let's just turn that off by clicking the little eye right here. And then what we're going to want to do is click on the layer, which is our background layer or your design. And then that gives us the ability to move around like this. Now, by the way, if this is not working for you, under your tools area, which is in your top left area, this little arrow right here is the tool that is going to allow you to kind of drag and drop this thing all around here. So one of the things that you'll notice, it happens to, it does actually go within the box, but what's not happening right now is it's not quite centered at least within the blue line that is there. We can just kind of check it by looking at that. It's a little bit offset. So what we can do is while our layer is highlighted, we're going to go up to Edit in the top left corner, Transform, and you're going to click on Scale. And then that way you can scale this down. And by the way, right here in the middle, that little box right there and the little box right there, that is the center of your design if you set that up correctly. So let's just kind of scale that down right to about there so it's nice and centered. And we can move it up. Wherever we put this here, it's going to translate into the mug in the end here. So once we do that, once we've got it where we think we want it, we're going to hit Enter on that, and that locks it into place. At that point, you're going to turn off the layer, make sure the gray is turned off, otherwise the gray is going to show up on the template itself. Then you're going to go over to File, Save Smart Object, or Control S. And there you go. Let's save that. And it says Smart Object Saved. So now at the top left, you can go over to your mugs.psd, and bam, there it is, just like that. You can zoom in by using this tool right here and check it out. That's pretty good. You can also use Control plus or minus, and that gets you in closer. That looks fantastic. And if you'll notice, and this is the whole idea with smart objects, why you do it this way, is because it applies all the reflections that are natural within the photograph itself. As well, there is a curvature to the mug, or I'm sorry, to the design, to the smart object that I also applied within this. So it actually looks like it's there. Now, let's say you don't maybe it's a little bit too big. Not a problem. What you're going to do is you're just going to go back to your shape layer, top left corner here. You're going to rinse and repeat. Edit, transform, scale. Let's bring it down just a little bit. Just for an example, I think this is too small. I think it's a cool thing. But again, we're right in the center, exactly where we want it. We're going to go to File, Save, Smart Object, give it a second, and then click over to Mugs, and boom, that's it. That's it, folks. If you can see, it's really, really cool. What a great program that somebody has a Photoshop-like program. Basically, is Photoshop online. It's fantastic. And I got to tell you, if you put that on there on your store, I think that'll sell. So at this point, you're basically going to output it, File, save it as more, and you can save it as, export as a JPG, and then bam, you can determine exactly what size you want it, your quality, and then save it, and you're off to the races. You may want to you can even downsize it and have it web ready from there. That's how you do it within Photopea. And folks, I gotta tell you, the greatest thing, this is exactly what you do in Photoshop. Let's do it here in Photoshop, just as an example. So if we go up to File, we're gonna open, same exact thing here. We're gonna go to number 40, open it up. In the side here, we've got our smart object. So we'll double click on the smart object. And at that stage, we're gonna open up, I'm gonna do Control O, or you can go up to File O, and we're gonna find our design, which is in the downloads. And it is this guy right here. And there it is. So at this stage, I can do it the same way by taking the layer, or sometimes what I'll do with the right tool on here is I can actually pull that pane out, and I will drop and drag that pane right into there. And then I can just even close that. I don't need that anymore. So here we are. And it's the same exact thing where I go up to Edit. If I want to size it up, go up to Edit, Transform, Scale. Now in Photoshop, what you do need to do is hold down the Shift key while you're scaling this. The reason why is because if you don't, you can do this. You can kind of shrink it and do some really funny oblong things to this. You don't want that. So you need to hold down the Shift key and scale as you need to right here. That looks pretty good. Hit the Enter button, it locks it in. At that point, I will turn off the layer, and I am going to save this. Go to Control S for save. And then at that point, I can just click over back to my layer, and boom, that's it. There it is. looking really, really good on the mug. That looks fantastic. And folks, I know you can do this as well. Folks, I hope that explains this to you. I tried to make this a very, very easy process for all of you to basically replicate what I've done. If you do have problems with this, however, that being said, my email is right here. You can email me anytime. I'm usually sitting in my office, sitting at my desk, working away on all sorts of other things as well. But you can reach out to me anytime, and I will try and give you as much help as I possibly can with this. And look, once again, thank you. If you haven't already, it's up to you on what you want to do in terms of purchasing this. I have more stuff coming down the pipeline too that I'm really, really excited about. And folks, I got to tell you, I am bound and determined to be one of the top sellers here on Etsy. This whole Etsy process has really brought a new passion for photography for me again. I've been doing this 25 years, and it's amazing. So look, even if you have suggestions on photos that you think would look good for your store, I'm all ears, because by you actually making those suggestions, I guarantee you that other people within this community also are looking for similar type of things. So it just benefits all of us as a group. So I'm definitely open to your suggestions there. That being said, thank you so much, folks. Thank you for everything. And yeah, good luck and happy selling on Etsy.